When I was young, I lacked the direction and the guidance I needed to move forward on a path and have purpose find me. I became a character instead of developed character. And when I got out of high school, and even before, while I was still in high school, let's be real here, instead of moving forward, I was already backsliding. And I backslid into alcoholism instead of moving forward on the path that purpose would find me. Because I was being a character instead of having character. Travis Sotawell, it's Pure Sound Daily Business. When we talk about the Pure Sound method, we have two parts of character in our breakdown in developing character. The one part really brings all together where you at, where you want to be. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? Who do you want to do it with? And who you are. The other part, that is integrity. When all that comes together, along with intention. So it's baked in there with the what do you want to be, who do you want to be, where do you want to be, what do you want to do? This intention. Now, there has to be an intention for there to be integrity. So intention puts everything together, along with having integrity is saying that it's all together. Your external world of what do you want to do and what you're doing, and your internal world of what you want to do and what you're doing is consistent, is connected. It makes sense. It's not cognitive dissonance. Saying one thing, thinking another thing, thinking one thing, thinking another thing. That isn't logical, or what we would say congruent. Demonstrating this daily, practice builds up the integrity. The practice, the doing it every day, gives you a sense of who you are. Seeing how open, honest, and ethical you are day in and day out. That's why it's a practice. This is how you get a sense of where you're at. We're going to basic science. The intention is the theory, your hypothesis. What do you want to do? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to look into. The theory, the hypothesis, the thought, the thinking. Then you have the testing, the experiment. That's the practice. So it's, for me, waking up in the morning. Where am I at? Where do I want to be? What do I want to do? I want to be financially independent. I want to be an entrepreneur, a full-time entrepreneur. Want to have a small business. I want to pay the people helping me, volunteering their time right now. I want them to be volunteers. Want them to be contractors. Want them to be paid. Where am I at? Building business, starting out, that's great. Still at a job, that's not great. Other parts of my personal life, it's not bad, but we're just surviving. We're right on that line. Got some things going on. Everyone's getting older every day. Children are getting more expensive. Parents are getting older. Our children's parents, meaning us, and our parents. Some of our parents, talking in general, people listening, some of our parents are going to be financially able to take care of themselves, which I would say as an adult, that is the minimum for the future. We should be able to take care of ourselves so our children don't have to take care of us. Now, I'm not talking about, them taking care of us, physically, being in the house. I believe in that. However, in order for that to happen, we still need to be able to take care of ourselves financially. Because not our children are, one, able to take care of us as far as health day in, day out. Either they're able to just how they're built, so that may be an unreasonable request, and they just may not have the skills. Like me personally, I'm all for keeping my family in the home, keeping my mother around us, not in a home, not in a hospital. I mean, unless, of course, she's truly sick. I'm all for that. I'm not going to be the one taking care of her, though. I don't have those skills. These are all things that are, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be? Who do I want to be? And am I taking the day in, day out actions? Am I practicing? Am I building the skills, the knowledge? Do I have the desire and the right beliefs of how I'm going to get there and what I'm doing every day in, day out to get there? Well, that's where the integrity piece comes around. And we're just talking, again, business. A lot of times, integrity, these types of concepts are brought up. We're talking about morals. We're talking about ethics. We're not really getting into that here at Pure Sound L. Because I do believe that's where we get into, when I say even ethics, I'm not talking about morals. I'm talking about work ethic. Where we're talking about honesty. We're talking about when you're able to see the truth, are you honest enough to align yourself with the truth? Really practicing honesty, practicing improvement, which for me, I believe improvement is constantly understanding how you're not being true to reality, to what is. And it all starts with being open. You have to be open to new information. New ideas and new experiences are the road, the path, the steps to your next breakthrough. Which you're either on the path of your purpose because your purpose has found you, or you're looking for purpose to find you, which you need to stay open. You need to stay open to new ideas and new experiences. Learning the lesson. Life is for learning. Learning new skills, upgrading the skills we already have. So this is how we develop character. Day in, day out, practicing the skills we need to get to where we want to be. Now me personally, it's like my coach, Coach Michael Burt. I call it where you at, where you want to be. He calls it A to B. You're at A, you want to get to B. Does this every day. He writes it out. He has a book about it. He has a thing on his website. We're working to do that. But overall, for me, it's more of a spot check-in. I break it down to the simple piece of where am I at? The main thing in my life that really ties in other things. This could be a personality type thing. It could be a me thing. Now I'm able to draw the connections to other things simply by saying, where are you at? You're still working a job. and you need to get up out of there. Where do I want to be? Up out of there. Full-time entrepreneur. And then all those other things are connected to it. However, I am getting more specific. That's the basic check-in that helps me get my drive and my desire to work the system today going. One of my biggest pieces of where I want to be at is more time with my son and really educating him as he's getting older. We don't want him to be, we haven't pushed him into getting a job, mainly because we don't really believe in jobs. But then it falls back on me that it's like, I need to be able to teach him these business principles, help him get on his, at least entrepreneurial mindset, and get him moving in that direction. It's harder to overturn bad habits than to create new habits. So that's where I believe, and his mother is in agreement with that we don't want to have him go and learn how to work a job. We can just give him the good habits, the good knowledge, the good education out the gate, and learn how to be an entrepreneur. So that goes into, before I got into coaching, online education, I was building a food service business, catering. So that's where I actually have a whole nother business outlined that these coming up weeks, we're going to get started again with him heading it. So just to throw in, I want to talk about the holding company model, is that Pure Soundell and the food service company is called Travels. These are subsidiaries of the holding company. So as this all connects, in that as we, as customers of Travels, pay Travels, we have this group, the subsidiaries of the holding company, that really takes care of different aspects of life for our customers. And we happen to be one of those customers. See, so this is literally keeping it in the family. And that it all comes together. Of course, that's, accounting, booking. We don't really get into that here at Pure Soundell. We're more about, and of course, as I continue to build, because we're not there yet, we just have the structure. So this whole business has been on designing your life, designing your business to move forward. Now we're getting into character. Character is built by daily actions, daily practice, designing your day. Now, I've been listening to a lot of how to frame a story, the structure of a story. And I would say when I was young, I've always been a writer, but I never looked into story structure. I always just wrote raps, wrote poems, but I was always resistant to structure. And there's a reason for that. I think a lot of creatives are that way, because I hear a lot of the teachers talk about that. The key is that we have this structure so we can actually be more creative within the structure. It's like you got to have a game to play. You can be creative in sports because the sport exists. If you're just out there on the field, it's almost like if you can do anything and everything, then there's nothing to do. You have to have some restraints so you can break those restraints. So how are you working, learning a lesson, creating a framework for your life, for your daily day, so you can learn the lesson? And how we do it at Pure Soundell is by asking ourselves, where you at, where you want to be, what do you want to do, why do you want to do it, and who do you want to do it with. And doing that consistency keeps integrity being built. And having intention day in and day out is the key to it all. It's Travis Sotawell. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. Peace.